50-something straight days of rioting in Portland with no signs of stopping. And what does the MLB do? What does the WNBA do? What does the NFL do? They want to kneel for the national anthem, or they'll walk out entirely like the WNBA did. Instead of trying to bring people together, they're just doing shit that just enrages people more. All under the guise of equality and progress. Yeah, I'm getting really sick of this freaking bullshit with sports entering the public sphere in terms of this type of stuff. And I've been listening to Clay Travis a lot. He's absolutely right, and he says that, athletes don't have any real political capital because they don't know what they're talking about. Most of the time, they really don't know what they're talking about. I mean, LeBron James is a perfect fucking example. Dude feigns ignorance when talking about stuff like China and the Uyghur problem. How the Uyghurs are being, holocausted right in front of our eyes. And he just feigns ignorance and said a damn word about it, but yet he'll say free Woj when Woj decides to be an asshole to a senator asking a very legitimate question about China. And he also may have actually faked a hate crime in his own freaking house. And, always whines like he's playing the victim, even though he's one of the richest athletes in the world. And it's just ridiculous. I'm sick and tired of athletes telling people what to think. People have the right to think for their own selves. You don't have any right to be jumping into their own personal lives using your soapbox to shame them into something, right? That's why I've been critical of people like Bubba Wallace in the recent time, because of he was trying to shame people. It looked like he was trying to shame people, and inadvertently or not, he made NASCAR fans look like the stereotype racist rednecks that the media have been portraying them as ever since it got popular in the 70s and 80s. Like, dividing people isn't going to help anything. And not only that, you have all these people either feigning ignorance or not even getting any close to condemning what's going on with the riots going on around the country, especially in Portland. And look, I'm not saying that the cops are 100% in the right in every situation, because they aren't. That goes true for everyday life before the coronavirus and the George Floyd situation. Alright? No one ever says that. Okay, if anybody says that the police are always 100% right, you're wrong. Alright, no, a bunch of cops will tell you that. But cops right now around the country are being screwed with. And not only that, you have all these riots and protests going on. People want to sit down. They want to sit down, relax, have a cold drink, watch some sports. They don't want to have to think about politics, right? The whole thing with sports is it is a form of escapism that goes from movies, books, TV shows. Yes, you can have political subtext in those mediums, but when it comes to sports, it isn't wise to put politics into them. You know why? Because when Colin Kaepernick decided to be a fucking asshole during his national anthem protest, praising Fidel fucking Castro, wearing cop pig socks, and saying that America's a racism because of course they are, because he's a fucking idiot. The NFL's ratings declined for 2 years straight because of all the kneeling. Alright, and the kneeling, it went out of the, oh, we're kneeling to stand with victims of police brutality. Alright, I would have been fine with that if Colin Kaepernick wasn't making it so overtly, not only political, but stupid. Not only that, when people were kneeling in 2017, that wasn't due to police brutality. That was people being petty assholes because, oh, Trump says mean things about them for kneeling. That's one of the reasons why people don't really like the kneeling crap. And also, you have all this stuff going on, like that Deshaun Jackson thing. How anybody could defend Deshaun Jackson like that is beyond me. This was coming after the fucking Nick Cannon shit, where he called white people, animals because they have a lack of melanin. Like, that influences your behavior, your fucking skin tone. And Deshaun Jackson had that and had quotes attributed to Hitler, and I don't know if those were actual quotes from Hitler. I don't remember. But, pretty anti-Semitic stuff. Now, thankfully, he's come out and said, yeah, no, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that. And Julian Edelman actually extended an olive branch, said, hey man, let's go to Holocaust Museum, we can learn some stuff. Alright, like that was a good moment. But then you have all these people who are like either defending him for that, defending the same people who were defending Nick Cannon for his bullshit, who, by the way, did not lose that much, by the way. He lost his job at Viacom and a few sponsorships, that's it. He's still got his job on America's Got Talent, or whatever show it was, American Idol or something like that. Still got a few jobs elsewhere. He's fine. But when Drew Brees is like, hey guys, I'm not gonna kneel for the anthem because, my family has had a history of fighting in wars, and, I don't want to disrespect them and that type of stuff, and I'm proud of their service, and I'm proud of the country. Oh no, I want to whine like a little bitch, says the guy who runs the NFLPA, the NFLPA. Wants to whine like a little bitch, like, oh, this is so hurtful, it's so hurtful, fuck you. Fuck you. Alright, and also all of these same people who are being the assholes, who are promoting all of these protests and shit, neglect to mention the minority lives that are being ruined as we speak by all the riots, the looting, the protest, quote unquote. Because, I'm sorry, the mostly peaceful protest moniker is bullshit. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people who are being unfairly targeted for peaceful protesting. That has happened. Alright? But for the most part, a ton of the protests got violent, and that was regardless of any police presence or not. Alright, and besides, if there was a police presence there, why would you get violent in the first place? That would just make you look worse. But not only that, 50 plus days of rioting in Portland. No sign of stopping. You had the Chaz stuff, where they killed a fucking 16-year-old for joyriding because they thought he was a white supremacist. Then after stopping the car, they checked to see if he was still alive, and then double tapped him. Not really anybody's condemning that type of shit. Not everybody on the political left, but the people in the mainstream media are just gaslighting. They're just downplaying all of the shit. Alright, like I said, do we need to have a serious discussion about police reform? I think we should. But you're playing stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I see in videos all the time, all these stupid protesters just acting a fool. And then when they get arrested, they're shocked, like, oh my god, why are you arresting me? This is a violation of my rights. Like, no, you were doing some stupid shit. You were either accosting someone. There's people freaking blocking traffic. Those people who died, dancing in the road. There's more people dancing in roads. I just saw a video yesterday on Twitter where this group was, surrounding a van. It was just an old lady surrounding a van, and the lady was going as slow as she could to try to get, she was going really slow, and they had surrounded the car. And the person in Twitter was like, oh, she was trying to rev it up and run us over, and the cops should have been there to help us, but they didn't because blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, if you don't want cops to help you, why are you asking for the cops to help you when you're, blatantly getting in the way of someone's civil liberties? Alright? You're directly tampering with them. Not only that, blocking roads. Best be glad there wasn't a fucking ambulance coming in. Yeah, funny that too. They'll also block EMSs, ambulances, that type of stuff. And then when an ambulance can't get to save one of their own who got hurt by something, they'll be bitching out at them. Yes, that's literally happened. Like, all these sports figures who are talking about these things are not looking at what the hell is actually going on. Alright, once again, I think we can have a good discussion on police reform and all that stuff. But I am not going to cede any of my values to violent sociopaths. I'm not going to cede my values to a bullshit movement that has been hijacked literally from the start because the organization was founded and run by Marxists, and then you have international groups of the freaking Black Lives Matter movement run by anti-Semites, simp to anti-Semites, have people who support them who are anti-Semites in the media, like Al Sharpton and Louis Farrakhan. They're not discounting any of those people. But oh, somebody says an edgy joke, we should dox them and ruin their lives, or we should cancel them. We should be canceling people for just not even agreeing with Black Lives Matter for any particular reason at all, which most of the time is not racist in any way, shape, or form. Yes, there are legitimate racists who probably don't name that people and da 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 da. But for the most part, most of us aren't like that. Alright? And I've seen people who are very sympathetic to Black Lives Matter at the beginning of this whole George Floyd protest. Nope. Most of that goodwill's gone. And I'm not saying there aren't any good people who are protesting for Black Lives Matter. Right? On a base level, Black Lives Matter as itself, like, say you don't have the Ferguson riots, Black Lives Matter would have been viewed a hell of a lot more, hell of a lot more kindly. But no, you have that. You have the stuff in Dallas. You have the bullshit in 2014 to 2017. Then you have this, all this rioting and looting. Minneapolis is a fucking shithole now. Thank you guys. You really did good there. You know, and another thing with the NFL wouldn't let Jason Witten put the cops who died their names on his helmet, but yet they're gonna let them wear Black Lives Matter slogans, which I wouldn't necessarily disagree with, but they were blatantly hypocritical about it with all this stuff. Then the NBA is like, oh, we're gonna put social justice slogans on our jerseys too. It's like, well, are you guys going to do anything about that China problem? No, because Adam Silver said he's going to do anything they can to get their relationship back on track. Even though they did just close down their training facility in China, which is pretty good because apparently the province that it's in, kind of a prison city. You know, like Krakow, ghettos. Anyone noticing a pattern with the Chinese Communist Party yet? And yeah, like that's a big thing. It's like these people who are talking about, oh, black people are oppressed and stuff. Minorities are all oppressed. We should all be protesting for that. Well, guys, if you're not going to talk about fucking China and the Uyghur population of Muslims has literally been exterminated right before our eyes, then what the fuck are you protesting for? You're not protesting for shit. Once again, I'm saying this. We need to have a discussion about police reform. Yes, police could do stuff a lot differently in certain areas, but I'm not going to just go on to this narrative the police need to be defunded completely, that they need to be disbanded, because guess what? All those high crime areas where they depend on police to be there are going to get fucked in the ass with crime. Look at New York right now. De Blasio's fucking ripping the police up and down like he's a goddamn chainsaw, and the crime is like, you know those old crime movies where New York is a shithole? That's what it looks like now. It's starting to look like that. And that's on top of all the people dead because Chris Cuomo is a fucking idiot who put a bunch of sick people in nursing homes. Right? All of this shit needs to stop. Okay? All I ask from people is to be fucking consistent. No one's being consistent, really. Right? No one who's defending all these rioters and shit like that. You're not being consistent. And I wish I saw a hell of a lot more leftists, condemning China. They aren't. There are some. I have seen some, but I haven't seen a lot. Most of the people who I see who are, railing on China for their treatment of the Uyghur population is people who are on the moderate left, center right, and basically almost completely to the far right. Like, leftists for the most part are just turning a blind eye to it. People in the media turning a blind eye to it and gaslighting, making it seem like America is just this horribly racist place. Bitch, you have Barack Obama as president. Yeah, Kamala Harris is a fucking dumbass attorney general who is about to get the VP spot for Biden. You've had so much time for progress, yet when Obama was in office, all he did was divide people, and then that directly led to Trump. I'm sorry, but that's what happened. You don't believe me? Look at how he was doing shit. Do you not remember the Fast and Furious scandal? And all of the other scandals, like the AP scandal? And the media just kept covering for him, and Republicans got pissed off about it. That, you know what, we're just going to do like the complete opposite of Obama. We'll just get a guy who's not subtle. And that's why you got Trump. but yeah, it's just. I'm sorry, I really needed a rant. I haven't done a video in a while, and this will probably be my last political video for a while. It's just, I'm tired, man. I'm fucking tired. Alright, sports need to stay out of politics. Politics needs to stay out of sports. Politics needs to be fixed pronto. And we need to be more consistent in condemning horrible shit when it happens. So please, thank you. Everyone shut up. For fuck's sake. Thank you guys for listening for this little rant. Hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. Don't die. Maybe everyone won't die. Oh wait, China and India about to get into a giant war. Fuck.